What do I have to do to get His Majesty to love me? Do I have to be like Hene? Athanasia is on her knees begging for the love of his father. She stared at the person in front of her, with a face stained with tears. However, her father, the Emperor Claude, only stared down at her with no emotions in his eyes. Instead of throwing me out, will you welcome me with an embrace with those hands of yours? However, the emperor was not swayed and even coldly replies to her that there will never be a chance even if he dies. I also am your Majesty's daughter. I was here with you longer than Hene has. This took all of Athanasia's courage to beg her first wish, and was her last appeal. However, her king, her dad, kept his emotionlessness till the end. The hands that were gripping Claude's legs lost all their strength and fell to the floor. I've never had once considered you as my daughter. The strong words will make Athanasia's mind and thoughts go crazy. It was cruel enough to make her ears bleed any moment now. The clear ocean blue-stained eyes of Athanasia possessed the deepest desperation. Gasp! Crazy! The sudden thought of a certain part of a novel made her extremely speechless that she dropped the ding-ding sounding thing. It was a romance novel she had a glance at when a customer left it at the gaming center she had previously worked a part-time job at. Is it because the princess ends up getting killed by her own father's name is the same as mine? Athanasia groans that she is very unlucky, and shoos away the thought out of her head. Just then, the nanny sitting on a chair reprimanded her. This might be normal, but Athanasia clearly knows that the maid is being negligent to her. She didn't even wash the toy that fell to the ground. Athanasia doesn't like this toy. It's dirty, having been dropped twice, and it just doesn't suit her style since her physical body may be that of a baby, but her mental age is much older. The maid puts down baby Athanasia back in her cradle, since she sensed that Athanasia was bored already. Athanasia wobbles in her place while whimpering. This is because Athanasia will never get used to her new life. Athanasia was sure that she fell asleep after taking her sleeping pill. But when she opened her eyes, she looks like this in this shape. Athanasia is shocked at how she became a baby of a fantasy novel. Moreover, she became the princess of this country. The door suddenly opens as the maid calls out to Athanasia. Athanasia was dumbfounded by the way she was treated, despite being a princess. The words and the tone the maid chose to use was always very unkind and harsh. Maybe this is it even for the real princess, even if she is a baby. Being an orphan in her previous life, Athanasia was grateful that she was reborn as a princess. But why does it have to be a mistreated princess? Athanasia couldn't help but shiver when she thought of the ongoing rumors about the human known as Dad. Athanasia has only gotten the information from the maids, but she already knew that her father was a huge psychopath. Athanasia tensed up every time the maids come to clean her room and whisper about him. The place Athanasia is staying right now was called Ruby Palace, where the emperor's concubines stay at. In other words, it was the king's harem. However, one morning, he killed all the people from the Ruby Kingdom. Athanasia's mother, Diana, was invited to the imperial palace banquet one day as a dancer somehow attracted the emperor's attention and gave birth to her. Thereafter, Diana died and baby Athanasia was left behind. Afterwards, that emperor hid himself and blocked her out of sight. The maids in the Ruby Palace took care of Athanasia since then. What is that damn dog emperor doing ditching his own child behind? Athanasia exclaims in her mind. Anyways, now Athanasia is living at the place where chaos happened. leaving a baby like me stuck in one room. This will definitely cause her nightmares. But Athanasia was more scared of that emperor who she didn't even know, his appearance, than the horrible things that had happened to this palace. He might go mad again and kill her on a whim. In the past life, the head of the orphanage had given Athanasia's name, uncaringly, but in this life, her mom Diana had made it herself. Athanasia means undying, but it was a luxury name for the lowly treated princess. Of course, it had to be the same name as that unlucky, bad future princess from that romance novel. Athanasia wonders if her mother wishes her to live long and happily by giving that name to her within that beast emperor's hands. So when Athanasia opened her eyes, she was in fear from the thought that her father would visit her. Suddenly, the maids came to check on Athanasia. The maids were very annoyed because Athanasia is still awake. There they go again, whispering complaints while staring at me. Let's not do this to each other, we are all jammed in the Ruby Palace after all, right big sisters, Athanasia thought. Athanasia is also pretty sure that they were treating her poorly, just because she didn't have any importance to the emperor. Am I lonely because of it? Not at all. It was a dream to live as a princess like this. Athanasia would be able to play all day long even if she snatches some golds here and run off. So please, forget about me. I don't want any of the attention. I don't. Athanasia is happy that the emperor does not take interest in her. That was correct. Even though she was only fed warm milk, Athanasia would still get 3 whole meals a day. Sleeping was also very comfortable, and the room was filled with gold. She plans to pocket some gold and run off when she grows up. The maids kept on whispering while glancing at Athanasia from time to time when gossiping about how terrified they are being a maid here. It's understandable since even the princess of this kingdom was afraid to stay at a place where you could die any day. Athanasia also aims to escape this terrible place. But for now, Athanasia stares at the golden round ball happily. Aha, all right, praise for my gold. How pretty it is, she thought. Lily, one of the good maids, gently rubbed Athanasia's cheeks while she played with gold. As time passed, crawling on the carpet wasn't as hard as it was before. Anyways, seeing Athanasia reaching for valuables all the time, Lily must have gotten the idea that she liked sparkly stuff. Well, who doesn't like gold? Since then, Lily would bring other toys made of gold and gems, and made Athanasia's eyes go big and round in surprise. Ruby Palace was very peaceful as months went by. Athanasia thought that he might forget her existence. Of course, the others who were scared of him coming to kill them all had calmed down a lot. Athanasia ate, exercised, and slept well, and she was growing healthy and quickly. Thanks to Lily's care, she never once suffered a major illness, as she was growing nice and healthy. It seemed like the decorations in Athanasia's room were disappearing one by one, so she thought it was for her safety. Suddenly, Athanasia stopped playing with the ball and started crying to call Lily. My butt felt moist, sniff, embarrassing, but should change my diaper. Athanasia was reading the storybook with illustrations with Lily, while in a comfortable position within Lily's embrace. They called it a storybook, but it was actually a history book of this kingdom reduced into one storybook size. Athanasia is amazed by stories of magic and wants to see it up close. The Black Tower of the Wizards Lily was telling her about was intensely exciting. This record have a big possibility of being only an exaggeration, but fun was still fun. Athanasia listened to other stories Lily read for her. It was until something caught her very interest. There was a man holding a holy sword and was planting it on the throne. What, that bastard who ditched his wife and daughter and currently doing I don't know what. Athanasia cursed the man in the book countlessly. Athanasia couldn't read the words in the book, but when she organized the parts that Lily had explained together, she knew that her dad is the current emperor of the Obelia kingdom. Athanasia fumed in anger at the story. I'm not curious about his name at all. Why would I be for that bastard? However, listening to the next words Lily whispered made me frozen in place. His Majesty Claude de Alger Obelia. Wait, why does it have to be unluckily the same name as the emperor of that romance novel? And princesses is Princess Athanasia de Alger Obelia. Will Athanasia end up with the same fate as that tragic princess in the book that she read? Watch over her as she grows up as a princess in the center of the empire's chaos.